Hello, and welcome to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three Runeforged weapons that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
Hi.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, played by Will.
Hi.
Sorry, the pause was because updating the episode number on my overlay.
Okay.
And I was trying to think of what episode.
There's a moment, it looks like you had a blank, and I was just like, how did this happen?
I was
the easiest thing in the world.
I was counting from 119 to 120. And in the bottom right, we have Gunn Shough, Human Champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
Hi.
Welcome. So, last time on the Third Action, a group of intrepid adventurers did some stuff. They forged some cool weapons. Greshy's got a sweet tat. And they were gonna rest, but then decided that they would instead go rest in the Wrathwing, which felt a little bit safer because they saw some weird fleshy blobs going over to the Pride Ring. And yeah, I think that does it. So,
Quick and easy.
the fast version. So with your new weapons in hand, Asher's bow, Viere, Will's, not Will, but they're not a character. Greshy's staff, Mender, and Gunn's, I was gonna say Asher, Gunn's sword, Remedy. I know all the things.
You do.
You've got all those. You're back in the Wrathwing. What do you guys want to do? So I think we kind of off-screen talked about. It sounded like Gunn wanted to do some amount of training. Greshy wanted to do some amount of crafting while you have the rest of the day ahead of you. And so you decided to clear out the bodies that were left over of the Sin Spawn and Warriors of Wrath. Assume that Gunn and Asher basically took them all over to the flaming hall where you fought not Elasnist, but Athroxus, where you fought Athroxus to cremate the remaining bodies, perform last rites for them, etc. I guess you perform last rites for somebody who's still alive, so that's not quite the right term. But in any case, you did some ceremonies. And
then, I mean, there's some of them that are just vulture demons, and we can just throw those on the bonfire.
That's true, yes.
Deserve the same amount of love and attention.
I firmly disagree with that, Asher, but
I'll bury them over here in my little corner.
Asher's
All right,
graveyard.
So Asher takes to burying the remainder of the Wrath demons. And Gunn manages the burials for the warriors and the Sin Spawn. But with that out of the way, you're unaccosted for the evening. So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, before we leave, we discussed what we would do next, and I'm starting to think that if we left now, we would have to go back to a town to resupply, but if we take some time to do our own adjustments, like Greshy can do some work on rune transferring, Gunn can do some retraining, we may be able to skip that and just pop out from here wherever we pop out and go straight on towards the City of Greed.
I agree, but we do need to find something for Asher to do.
I just kick rocks around in the background.
You can guard the base.
There are some books in the Pride Ring.
I have considered that, even though there are blobs there. But I could try and sneak in and see what I can see without blobs hitting me. If I remember correctly, the ceilings are at least average height.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
There's,
You do also
there's
have a bunch of books that I believe you all borrowed.
We grabbed a
from
couple
this library.
here and there.
Mhm. I'm
So you
also
could go through them. I'm sorry, go ahead.
considering whether it would make sense for us to go to the Greed Wing and see if anyone there is involved with Karzug's plan. Since we know he can communicate with people in here because he just manifested a whole freaking statue. He might be giving them instructions. He might be giving them a way to communicate to the outside world. And they could be involved, I think, with everything that we've been facing. At least somewhat.
Wouldn't they have left by now then?
Maybe not.
That
don't
doesn't answer a
tend to
thing.
know how they think.
I mean, if they were going to be helping Karzug, staying in here seems like it'd be counterproductive. He's out there.
He's out there trying to get his followers a way to come in here, wasn't he?
I think some people were looking for a way in here, but I think they're just trying to bring him back however they do. And the whole reason they were trying to get in here was because apparently Mokmirian couldn't communicate with anyone in here. And he was the one who
Does seem to be
most
the case.
connected. I don't know how strong Karzug is at this point. Obviously, he made that statue appear, but he also only made the statue appear. It's not like he came here himself.
Well, I think we should consider it. Maybe we can at least find someone there to negotiate with or converse and see. Like, if we don't let on who we are and what we're doing, will they know?
You can bring them lots of money.
It's a thought. You could try bribing them. They might actually be willing to work with you for that. Don't know if money would be it, but maybe gems or something. Do we have any gems?
We could find out what it is that they want. So it doesn't have to be today. We don't have to decide that today.
Well, I wouldn't be going anywhere today.
Right, we're not going anywhere today. We can work on our stuff first and then see what happens and how ready we are after some work time. It's also rather nice that while we're in here, we can work 2 or 3 times as fast as we could outside, since this place has this weird property of not making you tired from working or hungry.
I kind of miss food.
I mean, I agree.
Like, I suppose I could eat, but it doesn't. I don't feel hungry, so.
I'm not saying I want to stay in here forever, but while we're here, we can take advantage of its special properties somewhat.
I'm fine with that. As I said, I've work to do as far as making some things. I want to get those boots done, and I don't know, some of these runes seemed kind of nifty on people's armor, but I would need the armor so I can do it.
I think my armor's good as it stands. I'll stick with fortification winged. Asher might want to change property runes, and of course, if there's extras, we can always put something for Rock, because he doesn't have any.
That's true.
Property runes right now.
So we're just gonna work on our little projects to start with, and then we'll figure out what's going on tomorrow. Aye?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, once you're all done with the bodies, I'm gonna head over to the, I guess the flesh warping chamber would be. I don't know where the best place to be crafting things in here would be, but it seems like the most craft-oriented area. I'm not entirely pleased about going in there, but hopefully it's all...
The arts and crafts room.
Aye, if you want to call it that. Well, we'll see what's in there, and hopefully that's not where those blobs came from.
All right. Yeah. So I guess if you guys are chilling out here in the Wrath Wing for the day, yeah, I guess each of you tell me what you're doing for your downtime. You have 8? So yes, as stated, kind of offline. I don't remember if I said it in the session or not. But you can work on downtime in 8-hour blocks. While you're here, your mind is constantly refreshed. You just don't feel tired. You can just keep working in 8-hour blocks as long as you've got the materials and appropriate facilities to do whatever you're trying to do. So the training room and the Halls of Wrath counts. Oh yes, you could do 4-hour blocks as well. To do half a day's work for downtime. Yes, thank you, Tabletop Rolls for the raid. Hello, Nat20 Productions.
Howdy.
Welcome.
Oh.
Just setting up some downtime real quick. But yeah, what do you guys want to do? You start with Gunn.
I wanted to do a retraining on a general feat. So
Okay.
I originally picked up Incredible Investiture before we realized that weapons, armor, and shields didn't count against the 10 item limit. So I'm not nearly as close to that limit as I thought it was.
Okay, so yeah, you can start working on that. That's a week of downtime, so that's 7 days times
40
8.
hours. No, 56 hours.
Yeah, 56 hours
Yeah.
of time. And yeah, you can get started on that now. Let me see. So you guys, I think today all you've really done is go here to the Wrath Wing, do this battle, and that's kind of it, and make the weapons. So 24 hours minus, we'll call that like
Wrath Wing and made weapons.
Wrath Wing and made weapons. We'll say that you've got 2 8-hour blocks here that you can fill in for the rest of the day. So you have 16 hours left in the day before you guys can do your re-prep.
Ooh.
So yeah, you want two blocks of that, so you have
Ignore that.
16 hours of progress. Are we getting some some Fool's Lucks and Rastal's favors? Alright. Okay,
and what
so
I'm training that into is the numb to death feat. Since
Yes.
you...
died officially.
Okay,
Very
so
exciting.
Gunn, you felt frustrated. Sorry. Another thing that happens while you're here, the longer you guys spend time here, the more kind of acclimated you get to the Wing of Wrath. You find yourselves slightly, like, you get agitated a little bit more easily, frustrated a little bit more easily. But the bonuses and penalties that you might have had, I guess you only had bonuses, but the effects of the strong sin magic here have kind of waned on you, and you just feel slightly pulled in a direction of wrath, but it's not a major thing. It was more of a shock to your system when you first entered, than something that stays permanently. But yes,
Gotcha.
you frustrated with some close calls, you've decided to train yourself a bit more physically to try and be more resistant to attacks. Since Greshy is able to control or at least issue commands to the training dummies, you get them to set up a little regimen for you that involves you getting hit a lot more. So you're basically just practicing getting hit and taking hits there in the training room. So all the dummies are just smashing you with whatever they've got. But yeah, you're able to get 16 hours of training in. Cool.
Okay.
So, oops. Greshy, what are you doing?
I'm going to be spending some time working on finishing up these boots of speed that I was working on previously. I think I only got 4 hours in, but I can attempt to decrease the total time to craft by increasing the DC by 4.
Okay.
And that would just change it to 1 day total crafting time. So I'd be at 20 of 24 hours, or approximately thereabouts.
By just doing.
Or do we consider 1 day to be
Yeah,
8
I was
hours?
1 day is
1 day
24
is 8 hours.
Yes, but not.
Yeah,
work.
1 day of.
Okay,
one
so
day
then
of
it would just be an 8 hour.
downtime. Yes. Yeah, I'm considering 1 day of downtime to be 8 hours
Alright.
worth of work.
Then it would only take the 8 hours, I suppose, or whatever's left. So once I've finished helping Gunn get set up with his tub thumping regimen, I'll move on to trying to finish up these boots.
Yeah, I don't think you didn't have Hasty Crafter at the time, right? So we'll call it just the 8 hours.
I've
then.
had Hasty Crafter for a while.
Did you? Okay. In that case, you could just take the 4
I
hours.
have had it. Either way, I mean, I'm fine with taking the full 8 since it's kind of partial. It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
But I've had it since level 8, I think. Level
Okay.
8.
We'll just call it 4 hours to do this. So go ahead and roll the crafting check.
Alright.
It's
Alright,
just for boots of speed.
Boots of Speed, which is a level 13 item, which I think makes it to 31 DC by default.
Sounds right to me.
Plus the 4 to increase the DC makes it a 35, which is what I rolled
All right.
on a natural 6.
Yep, natural 6 for exactly 35. Cool. So yeah, you managed to. I guess you have the choice then of putting in the finishing touches, spending the rest of the materials, or continuing to craft.
Let me see what I've got.
To make it.
I think I'll continue to craft and see if I can just clean it up entirely and do another. I'll do another crafting check, I suppose, or spend the rest of the. What is it? Can I continue with the full 8 hours to finish it, or does it need to be the extra 2 days or whatever?
You could continue with an extra 8 hours. We'll say it just keeps
Okay,
the base.
then I'll spend the full day that I've got left working and finishing up these boots, and we will complete it for half the cost,
Okay.
which is nice.
All right. So you managed to save some of the materials, the enchanting inks and such that you were using to write the runes onto the boots of speed. But by the time Gunn is done practicing, you've got a nice functioning set of boots. That leaves Asher.
Perfect.
And you're just in the Wrathwing's alchemy lab, where they've got a number of. At first, you think it's just meant for doing these weird science experiments and a bit of metalworking. But you also notice that they do have kind of tucked away amidst the barrels in the back of the room, equipment for tools and stuff for tailoring and armor making and that sort of thing. So you're able to pull your scraps of leather and stuff together with the help of their tools. And yeah, you make a really nice looking set of boots. Probably some of your better
Excellent.
work thus far. Okay, Asher, what do you want to do with 16 hours?
So, I feel a bit bad as a player because I could have sworn I wrote down what books I had. I do not. All I remember is that they had fun names, like those books where the guy's like, "Oh, a bunch of planes took my pants" or whatever.
Back up a second. A bunch of planes took your pants?
Do you remember those like books? I forget the author. Like,
Ooh, I know which books you're talking about. They're the books that you got from Rexaris. Let me see if I have the names of those for you.
A bunch of planes took your pants.
who's that guy?
Are you talking
They're like-
Goosebumps? R.L. Stein?
Something. I swear to God, I'm gonna look it up right now.
It
They're about, like, how to influence
no idea what you're
people.
talking about, though.
Shoot, I probably don't have those items right here in front of me.
Oh, Chuck Tingle. That's the author.
Oh, that's not what I thought at all. That's a whole different genre of... I was thinking children's books, not a
No.
very interesting erotica, if I
Space
recall.
Raptor Butt Invasion. That's one of the books.
Oh goodness, do I have his books?
The only books I remember
Erotica.
were the self-help.
Yes, those were the. I believe you got 3 books that are effectively
Called
like weird
self-help
self-help
books,
books.
wasn't it?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you can pick one at random. I think I had... Ooh, I think I came up with names on the spot at the time, so I don't remember the exact names that I told you. Yeah, I had one that...
Is the cloning book called How to Influence Friends and Make People?
No, none of the books was about cloning. One was about leadership and influence,
okay.
One was about deception, and one was about intimidation.
Ah.
So there's a diplomacy book, a deception book, and an intimidation book. But yeah, you could...
Ooh, all things I'm terrible at.
I should read some of those.
I want the
Asher should work on those too.
book.
Diplomacy
I
book?
mean, Gunn
Oops, let me
could
drop
use the
that
intimidation. Asher could learn to diplomacize. Maybe.
I like being diplomatic. I'm bad at it, but
Okay. Yeah, you take a look at the diplomacy book. It has an etching of a very smarmy looking Thessalonian person on the cover. It's all written in Thessalonian as well, and the title is something to the effect of like how to make friends and influence people, or influence sheeple maybe. And you kind of out of curiosity pop it open and start reading while you hear the sound of Gunn's grunts in the background as he's getting smacked by these like pots and pans that the training dummies are hitting him with. And at first it's a little bit dry, kind of boring, but you get sort of enraptured in it. And after the 16 hours, you just kind of get like fully absorbed in it. You can't stop reading for whatever reason. But by the time the 16 hours are over with, you find that you've finished the entire book from cover to cover. You are now trained you gain training in diplomacy, up to a master.
I already have trained.
Okay, so if you're already trained, you become expert.
It improves.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You also gain leadership lore. You're trained in that.
Oh my god.
And you gain a level 1 or 2 diplomacy skill feat of your choice.
Dang.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gunn should definitely take a look at the intimidation book. Well, no, did you master that or expert?
I'm already
legendary that,
diplomacy,
that's right.
master intimidation.
But you could increase your deception, I suppose, but you don't lie anyway, so.
Yeah, but that's not the only way to deceive people.
Yeah, you just kind of lose complete track of time, and by the end you feel like you've learned quite a few tips and pointers to how to interact with people in ways that you never even considered before.
I haven't considered a single way before, so this is new to me. Cool. That's fun.
Okay. For those 16 hours up, what do you guys want to do? You're all feeling that it's about that time you can prepare spells and things again. You can also, I assume that you've had enough time to all heal back up to full by this point.
Certainly, if I did some intermittent laying on hands, yeah, and meditating.
Yeah, so I'll just assume that you guys, between some medicine checks and lay on hands, you should all be back to full HP by this point.
Shouldn't have problems doing that.
So plus, we can use whatever spells we still have left over.
Also true. We've got 1 or 2 heals. So.
There's one thing that I forgot to take care of that day, which is I was supposed to roll another identify check on this wand that we found.
That's right.
A while back, that I've been carrying around.
You will need to define to me which wand it is.
It is
Or
a
where you found
6th level spell with iconography of Serenre on the wand. It came from the dragon's lair.
So this was a ways back.
From Serenre.
Before we came in here, right?
Yeah, just before we came in.
So I think I know what it is.
I've been holding on to it since it has this Surin Ray and and we know that it's a necromancy spell, that
yeah, you
the
go
most
ahead and
likely
roll.
thing is heal.
You can go ahead and roll the identify check. This would be
Alright.
religion in your case. It's the easiest
Yep.
thing.
We have a 27 there.
Yeah, you know it's heal. you
Okay.
you
Fair
think
enough.
about it enough, and you're familiar with heal. This is a
Right.
more advanced version than you're familiar with, but yeah, so it's a pretty high level heal.
Awesome. I will keep that on hand. That's the only other thing that I was looking for that day. So
Okay.
if
Alright,
we do
well,
our
Okay, you guys reach that time where you're feeling like you can access your modes of recharging and re-prepping of spells. Those of you who do so can just do your normal preparation rituals, albeit without the earth and sky and whatnot that you'd normally have access to. Actually, both Greshy and Asher, you'd find that it's a lot easier to feel connected to nature if you go out into the courtyard, where you fought
Makes
at
sense.
Throxus. Even if you just go to the area where the bonfire is right outside, you feel a much stronger connection to nature, even though it doesn't really quite feel like outside. It still kind of feels sort of like fresh air and feels like real grass, so it's much easier to do your preparation rituals there, if you so choose. Yeah, you re-prepare your spells, get back your daily abilities, and yeah, what do you guys want to do after that? You all gather, I guess, to discuss your next plan.
that's where we need to figure it out. So nothing happened here, but are we ready enough that we could go straight on to face the minions of greed? I mean, in the outside world, in the city of greed.
I mean, I would want to transfer some runes about. It might take a day or two for me to do, but imagine some of these runes on this armor that we found were decent,
Yeah,
and some of the runes on this round sewer that I don't think anybody's going to want particularly much. Well, the Greater Flaming would be better for Asher's bow.
for sure.
Bit of an improvement for there.
Yes.
What is it?
My
Plus,
feet.
is it +3 or +2 for the bow?
It's
My
there's a
bow
+3 on the run, sir, but that's the first +3 that we've found.
Yes,
Okay.
mine is a +2.
So, I mean, unless you really wanted Gunn, I'd give it to Asher as well.
I
Since,
agree that
Okay.
Asher would be the most suited.
Otherwise, as I said, I've got a couple of other runes we can move out. I think I'm going to improve my armor a bit. I'll take the
I
+2
think-
potency.
I think taking our time here to prepare for our future journey will be worthwhile. So, I'm
Alright.
all for it.
You're on board, Asher?
Wait a few more days.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we weren't too bored with the reading.
Oh, I loved it. I read the
Really?
book cover to cover.
That's special for you, isn't it?
You guys should I read a lot. I think
mean,
I've
you do
read the
now.
most in this
Asher
party.
reads more than
There's a whole library.
It's true. You do read a lot more than the rest of us do, which is strange since you used to live out in the woods.
I love
Is there a lot of reading out there?
No, I don't like talking to people, but I love reading.
You know, that actually fits, doesn't it?
Though I did read this book about talking to people. I feel like I could do a much better job now.
It's not so bad. Well, if you want more reading, I'm sure there's plenty more books. We can make sure there's none of those slime things in the Pride Wing again. Get some more if there's any in there.
That's true. I also have 2 other books. If
We
anyone
also
wants to read
have-
a book.
The archive, which I don't think you've used. If you wanted to use that to do some research on Thassalon.
Is there anything else we need to know yet? that we could think of based on what we found here?
Not that I think it could tell us. Not off the top of my head, but maybe Gunn has a better idea.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I was
Better
saying,
idea about.
did you have any ideas on research we could do with the Anathema archive, since
Oh,
Asher hasn't used it before,
right.
and he likes to read?
Nothing jumped to mind that I had written down. You can research any topic. So I suppose you could try and ask it about some of the great mysteries of the, like, Earthfall and the fall of the Runelords and things like that. But I think it's on those topics, it's just going to deny you, most likely,
Why would it deny you?
because that information might not be known even in, or it might be forbidden somehow. But we could always try. It's one of the best chances if we wanted to really learn what happened back then.
It's true. We could also ask our pen pal.
Has it been a week?
That would definitely not tell you.
Do we
A pen
know
pal
if it's been a week?
is purposefully giving you
Don't-
information that suits his
Even
design.
if normal days have passed, I don't think it's been a week.
Fair enough. I was more wondering if you were wanting to scout the Greed Wing. Wonder if any of these things could give us information about the state of it without us having to go in there. There's also this headset, this visor thing.
Now that
Oh yeah.
could be pretty useful. Maybe we could use that to spy on the. Maybe Asher could use that and spy on the Greed Wing to see if there's anything over there we should know about
How do
instead
I
of actually
not
going
do
there.
that? I've never done this before.
But it might not work unless we know something about them. Do we know their names or anything like that from the
Well, I
From the
mean,
notes? The
notes or
documents?
anything?
the Wrath Lady didn't know our names. Maybe it works like you could be like, I want to see into this room. Maybe you have to know the room. How does clairvoyance work?
Clairvoyance and Clairaudience both work based off of distance, I believe.
Hmm.
You pick a distance up to you pick a point up to so far away. You don't have to be able to see to that point, but you'll create a sensor there, and either with Clairaudience you can hear at that point, or with Clairvoyance you can see at that point.
Ordicon. Do we know who that is?
No.
Because that's not the leader of the Necromancy Wing. I don't think that's the name that Athroxus said was the name of the leader of the Conjuration Wing. So that might be the leader of the Greed Wing then. So if we need a name,
Mhm.
we might have one.
Okay. Could be.
Do you want to try it, Asher?
Could indeed try it. See if they can figure out if people are spying on them.
Well, I'll
From
give
there.
Asher the headset and make sure it fits right.
Boy. Love spying on people.
Who doesn't? You get to learn all
Better
sorts of
than
fun things.
murdering people, actually. I'll take it. There you go. Floating eye. Does have
The
a
range,
very
I think,
big
on
range.
both of these spells is 500 feet.
Yes, it's 500 feet. 10 minutes. The eye can't move, but I can see in all directions. How nice. Okay. Well, that's good.
Alternatively, if you borrow the cloak, Gunn's cloak, and go invisible through part of it.
That's definitely a possibility.
So I was also thinking, like, I don't know if you have to study. If someone like transforms into an animal, if you have to study that thing to know it's like, oh, this is a person that's transformed into an animal or not. Because I could just be a little bug, crawl around for like quite a long time, like an entire day.
I would scout first and see if there are bugs to match. Because if there are, then great. But if I don't know if they're like the Pride Wing and keep themselves immaculate or whatever, then they'll notice a bug and go squash.
Yeah, that's another thing, because I don't think I've seen a single bug in this entire place. I could hunt around for it, but I don't think there's anything like crazy natural in here.
This place is all really unsettling.
Yeah, you've not seen any bugs. And I guess to answer your question about whether or not somebody would notice or tell that a bug is actually a person transformed, I guess it's a matter of if they happen to. They'd have to like try to like sense motive or perception against the bug versus your deception DC maybe, if necessary.
So maybe you need to read the deception first.
I have to read the deception book.
Either deception DC or like performance DC, or I mean, I can take any kind of. I mean, even nature DC for animals if you're just trying to pretend to be an animal.
Just try and hack natural.
Yeah, it's not something that they would like automatically know.
Okay.
But obviously, in realistic situations, if they're not, if they would not ever expect to see that creature, then maybe they would be more suspicious. But nobody would automatically see through it. Is what I'm saying. For all intents and purposes, you are that animal. They just wouldn't know why is this animal here.
What is this doing here in our immaculate wing?
Would you scan as magical if they had detect magic?
On a polymorph effect,
You are-
yes, I think so.
That's what I thought. Okay. So that's the most likely way that someone might see through it.
In Asher's case, they would also
Magical
probably detect
coverage.
the messenger bag, if that's visible.
Oh yeah, I have a little bag on me.
There's a tiny bug with a tiny messenger bag next to it.
Like, oh, if you look really close, this weird bug's got a bag. I wonder what it means. Wow, okay. So unless I see any kind of bug, that might not be a good plan. Though I can be very small. If anyone saw me, they might be like, why is this here?
They might not see you, in fact, if you're
Yeah, I
small
mean-
and like a bug that can fly or something. Say hi to the ceiling.
Yeah, they'd have to see you first, and then after they've seen you, they'd have to suspect you, and then after they suspect you, they'd have to like make some. There's steps to it.
There's layers of them not being able to see me. They could just throw something at me too. They could just whack me with something.
If you two want to figure that out, then I'm gonna work on transferring runes about. I would need to borrow Asher's armor if we were gonna upgrade
Ooh.
the armor a bit.
Well, it's really no different than before, I suppose. So I think my runes have.
Or sorry, not your armor, your bow. That's the one I was going to fix.
That will be different than before. Well, I can always read the deception book in the meantime.
And you always have Viere, which, well,
Wait, so we're not using
No.
this one? What other bow are we using?
no, you're right. I'm getting confused. So putting +3 and putting the
I'm also
greater flaming on it. I got myself confused. I was thinking everybody else had multiple weapons, but Asher's only got the bow. That's
I
it.
guess, yeah, I only have this bow. I didn't take the other one.
We have lots of extra weapons he could use, but he also has cat form, which
I
is
do.
sort of his main
We're also trying not to get
alternative.
into a fight.
As long as
Sure.
no one counteracts it.
I mean, you could take
Or-
this inconspicuous dagger that looks like a scarf.
Throw it at someone. And then not have it ever again. I guess there are ways. I could also just read in the meantime.
Up to you.
Yeah, so it
I
takes
got my day set.
for rune transfer. It takes 8 hours per rune. So
All right. Can that be shortened with HD Crafter, or is that just straight up?
Nah.
Okay.
Only Stranzelplom has the. You could try to learn from Stranzelplom.
He's on a different plane right now. I can't. I would love to, though.
Should you ever
We got to get
ask,
together and talk shop.
you could try to learn it from him, but as far as I'm aware, there's no way to shorten that. But okay.
That's fair.
So it looks like we're doing at least 8 hours of time. Gunn, what are you doing in 8 hours? More training?
Yeah, more training, a little. I think I'll spend some of the time just meditating and praying, because there's been quite a lot of things that I've seen that have sort of made me need to commune and try to rearrange things and like resolve things in my head a little bit. But I'll spend most of the day just training, continuing to train this this new
All right.
ability.
Yeah. Gunn's just doing the shirtless training montage, sweating profusely, eyes closed, just getting smacked around with blunt swords and hammers. Nothing's affecting
bothering
him.
me.
Yes, until it stops bothering him. Greshy, what are you doing?
No, I'll just go ahead and transfer the +3 to Asher's bow, assuming Asher would let me borrow it for the day, or 8 hours.
Sure.
Okay. So you take Asher's bow, and do a transfer.
Don't remember if that requires a check or not.
That's a good question. I think it does.
Transferring runes, it uses the craft activity. So I'm gonna assume it's correct.
Let's see.
Then Asher will end up with a
yes.
rune stone with a +2 weapon potency rune on it, right?
The DC
No,
of
I'm
the
swapping
leftover.
between the two. It goes onto the Ransour.
Oh. Could
Yeah.
we, as we do these, could we
We have some spare rune stones, don't we?
we have a dozen spare rune stones, so it might be better if we
Then
started
that's what I
transferring
then I
things
would
off.
do that. You're right.
Okay. Sure. I'll allow you to do the transfer the +3 on and put the +2 onto an empty runestone as one crafting check. But go ahead and
Alright.
roll that. The DC is determined by the level of the rune being transferred.
Did not
Which is
check
a-
beforehand, so I guess we'll find out.
With a 42, though, you should be pretty.
I hope
Yeah,
so,
think
but I don't know. Remember what level of remember it is.
I'm pretty sure that's more than
Runes.
more than any of the runes are. +3 is DC 35.
Is it 6 DC
Right.
35?
I think so.
Then good. Excellent.
It's a
We will-
level 16. Yes, DC 35. Yep.
Mhm.
And sorry, what'd you roll? You rolled a
Excellent.
42, so that's just a
42
success?
total.
Okay. So you'll need to expend 10% of the cost in materials, but as would have it, you dig around in this chamber, and they already have plenty of like supplies to transfer runes. So you're able to
Oh, excellent.
take advantage of their materials that they've already got. So it's basically a free transfer. So
All right. I'll
Asher's-
go ahead and use that then for Asher's.
Asher's weapon potency is upgraded to a +3, and a +2 is now on that runestone.
What about the greater flaming rune? Are you going to add that
Mhm.
in place of the flaming rune as well?
I'm going to replace it and then try and swap off the other. While I'm at it. Oh. But yes, I'm going to transfer the regular flaming onto a rune stone, I suppose. Or I could just swap it. It doesn't really matter in this case. Unless somebody really wants that flaming.
I mean, let's see. We have. Oh, we don't really have enough to. I guess you could put. No, Phelan can't have more than one
Correct.
property. And we don't have any extra rune tags to give Rock a property.
I've only found the one rune tag,
Yeah.
so we'll have to
There
find
was
another, or I'll have to spend some time to invent one.
There was a shop
Hmm?
in one of the towns that you passed that had stuff, but I believe you passed that up. It was the shop with the counter.
True,
Okay.
but I could spend some more time inventing things. So
Yep.
What about the other runes we have that are new are Axiomatic and Greater Impactful. Now, Axiomatic is not going to suit Asher. That's a lawful.
yeah, Axiomatic's only going to suit me really, and I can't use it on my staff. So
But Greater Impactful seems pretty valuable. That might be a good second property or third.
While you guys are
property if
thinking
Asher's
about that,
interested.
While you guys are thinking about that, Asher, what are you doing with this first 8 hours for this day?
So, my question is, when I read this book, like when I read the diplomacy book,
Mhm.
nothing happened to the book, right? It's still there. It's still available for anyone to read. Or
Um,
did something weird happen?
You're not sure. The book seems normal. You could try and like identify the book in some way. You never really identified it. You just happened to use it.
I should do that. I just use books. I have trust in books. I will try and identify
Okay.
what this book is. That made me
yeah,
feel so good
use-
about myself.
In your case, it's probably nature, but could be any of the 4 magical traditions to roll. Whichever's your best is fine.
Sure. Or a 38.
38. Okay. So realizing that this book must be more than just literally good tips, that there must be something magical going on here for it to have given you such inspiration, you look over the pages and realize that there's actually, in addition to all the normal Thessalonian writing, there are actually a bunch of magical runes, like, embroidered into the pages around the sides. And that there clearly was some kind of magical effect here, but it seems to be dulled. Let's see, that's actually 38. Yes, you can tell that this can only be used once per month, and that only one creature can benefit from it at a time. Once somebody has used it, it goes kind of dormant for a month. And a creature can only gain the benefits of the book one time in their life.
Okay, so you can't stack the reading, which makes sense. I wouldn't have thought you could. I guess I will offer, with this knowledge, the other 2 books to either Greshy or Gunn to see if they want to read any of them before I go in and read everything.
I'm busy. You can
Okay.
keep reading if you want.
I'm already pretty good at intimidation and diplomacy is, deception is not going to be a super strong suit for me, no matter how good this book is. I am a little bit limited on what I can do there.
Maybe Asher can read the intimidation book to Phelan.
Oh yeah, can I read to the dog?
If you want to do a nature 8 hours of reading it's 16 hours to get the full effects of the book, but if you want to read it to Phelan and then do a nature check at the end, I would allow that to see if he understands.
Oh no! If he doesn't understand, then what happens?
The book would probably use up its energy for the month, and it would take a month
Would it just go
for it
into
to recharge.
space? Oh. Well, I could try reading the intimidation book to the dog. Hope I do well.
We'll see what happens.
Yep. All right,
Yeah.
Phelan, come here.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned this the book to Greshy, and he kind of offhandedly says something about reading it to Phelan, and you take it seriously. And so this day you spend 16 hours, I guess, with Phelan in the Asher and Phelan are just in the corner of the alchemy lab, reading this book together, while Greshy is doing his rune transfers. So, okay, sure, yeah, we'll assume that 16 hours passed then, and go ahead and give me a nature check. And you guys are level, what, 15 now? So this will be DC 34. DC 34 nature check
Right,
to see if they
Might be a good time to.
I'm gonna use my 5 points.
Yeah.
Do this nature check. All right.
All right.
I'd throw my
fingers
points on
crossed.
there if I could, but
5, 6, 7, 8.
That is enough.
If it's exact, okay. Like if
That
it's
is exactly
exact,
enough.
count.
That is
Yes.
exactly enough. You rolled a 33 and used your +5 chat points. 38. Okay, you managed to very, very lovingly read this book about how to scare people to Phelan. Phelan gains 1 training rank in intimidation up to master. So you can't go above master with this.
he's now a master.
I'm really.
He also gains
This is
1
giving me some
level
good
1 or level
imagery here,
2
look.
intimidation feat.
Oh, jeez.
Like Asher and Phelan going like, no, Phelan, you gotta show me your teeth more like this. Arr. And Phelan goes back like, Arr. And it's like, Arr.
It licks your face.
I can also turn to a wolf. I can turn to a dog thing, and I'm like,
True.
no, like this. It's just like back and forth.
Yeah, so Asher is just over here morphing to try and illustrate the points more carefully to Phelan. Yeah, surprisingly, Phelan seems to pick up on it. So yeah, Greshy, you can go and pick a level 1 or 2.
He's taking intimidating
feat.
prowess
All right.
because he's a big dog.
I mean, or maybe isn't there's like a wordless intimidate. I've got
I mean, he
it,
could
so
do a glare, but I mean,
intimidating
you
glare.
can just bark at people too. I think that's pretty intimidating as it is.
He's kind of got that built in, I think.
Okay.
The wordless one. Okay. Cool. So that gives Gunn another 8 hours of training and meditation. And then leaves Greshy another 8-hour block to do something with. You're doing a transfer?
Or let me. I'll do another rune transfer. I'll transfer the greater flaming onto the bone since I've got it there in my hands,
Okay.
and we'll make Asher's flaming better. Let's see. Crafting roll. Making great use of this legendary. 37.
37.
And greater
and
flaming is.
level 15, which is a DC 34. So that is a success.
All right. So it is a success. Excellent.
Yeah. Using more of the rune transfer ink and etching stones, you managed to transfer on a greater flaming and I guess put the regular flaming onto a rune stone if you want.
Might as well. We'll sell it or use it someplace else. It's fine.
This impactful rune could be quite potent on a longbow as well,
You think?
pushing people back 10 feet every time you shoot them.
Having the option to is nice. So
Great for making space.
Oh, it's only on
Alright.
a crit success, but
That's
it's still good.
it still does the force damage as well. So just more
Yeah.
damage.
and that's harder to resist.
True. All right. Sure. I'll spend, I guess, the next 8 hours doing that, and you guys can do whatever you're going to do if you want to scout or whatever.
Okay, so Greshy's going to spend his next 8 hours still with Asher's bow in hand, transferring on the impactful rune. Oh, I guess if Asher wants. Does Asher want that?
That's such a good point. Does Asher want that rune?
So it was between that and the flaming one?
No, you have the greater flaming already,
Oh, I
but
have
the
the
plus
greater
3
flaming.
gives you an additional slot to put something else on. So you can have
That's
3
true.
fancy runes, and we can give you the impactful one.
Is impactful the only choice?
That we have at the moment. You could take axiomatic, but that doesn't work for you because that's a lawful rune.
That wouldn't work.
And And I don't think we have anything else handy. I suppose you could take Phelan's Thundering Rune and he could take the Impactful, but that seems a waste.
Yeah, it does.
I have the Sonic Rune on my old sword that you could swap for also.
Sonic Room. So what does the impactful it's just on crit?
It does damage 1d6 force damage, I believe. And also, if you crit, you can then push them back 10 feet on a DC 37 fort save or something.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
All right.
More things to add to my...
I will continue to borrow the bowl and continue to put runes on it.
Okay. Those still in hand. Spend 8 more hours. You can go ahead and roll that check now if you want.
Oh, sure. Let me do that now. That's Phelan. We don't want to roll his crafting. It's not as good. 45. That's fine.
Yes, I think that's fine. The Impactful is like a DC 36 as level 17. Yep.
Level 20 item is a DC 40. I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. So yeah, it's Asher's bow now has greater impactful, or will once you're done.
Sure.
Okay, 8-hour block. What do Asher and Gunn want to do?
First, I want to ask a question of Greshy. Is that headband doing anything yet? Can I test it and see if it's starting to get...
How do you want to test it? I'll take it off, I guess.
Yeah, I think we had I think we had asked before whether I could check it again after you've been attuning it for a few days and try to figure out how long it's going to take to...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure. I mean, yeah, if you want to take a look at it while I'm working, go right ahead.
Sure. Yeah, give me... in this case, it would be an Arcana check, I think.
Well, I'm slightly trained in Arcana. So I have a 33.
33, that's good. So you can tell that there's definitely... The investiture is returning the magic to the item. It seems like it's accelerating. Well, I guess you've only checked it one time since then. Or since the initial pull. It seems like at this rate, it could be maybe a couple weeks at most before it's fully.
But it's definitely working.
But yeah, it definitely seems to be working. It's making progress. But you're not really sure exactly.
It may take a while, but it may take a while, but it's definitely working. And the second thing I want to do is I wanted to take 2 items that we got from Athroxis and try them out. One is she had some boots that I think are also boots of speed. I wanted to test those, attuned to those, and she had an amulet that I think is something to do with like a fire aura, and I want to try and activate that and see how. So I'm not sure exactly how that functions.
Okay. All right. Which one do you want to try first?
I'll start with the boots.
Okay. Where do you want to try that out?
In the training room. As I'm training, hopefully they give you just an innate little bit faster movement, and then I'll also try while training to activate them and dodge around a little bit.
All right. So yeah, you get a training regimen started. You start with just some regular running around before trying to activate them, and eventually you're like, okay, cool. They seem to fit fine. They don't seem to do anything when they're not activated. But then you do an activation. And when you activate them, you do get a burst of speed. Your speed increases by 5 feet. But while you're moving, you leave behind a trail of fire.
Oh. These are not boots of speed. Standard.
No, they don't
They're
seem to be.
fancy boots of speed.
Boots of speed, I think, give you quicken. These.
They give you a
and
the
give you a
standard-
passive.
They give you a +5 all the. Yeah,
This one gives you a +5 after you've activated it, and then give you a fire trail that stays around for the fire squares stay around for a round at a time, and they are difficult terrain. Well,
That's not bad at all.
yeah, they're difficult terrain, and if somebody passes through them, they have to make reflex saves or be burned.
oh, okay. That is not what I expected, but good to know. I'll just update that.
And I can give you
Figure out
the
the
actual
stats later.
item stats later. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other item. You try to activate it, hoping that you'll get some kind of flaming aura. Instead, you're kind of hit with a weird sensation. Like there's kind of like a flash in your eyes, and you hear like a weird, like high-pitched noise for just a moment or two. It's for our benefit, it's like the sound of a radio tuning. But that goes away after a moment, and you're not sure what it did. You don't. You feel different, but nothing you do seems to indicate what's happened here. You can't tell what the effects are.
Can I make another analysis of the of this to find out if I've got it correct?
It's been a day, right? So sure. Yeah, you can make
It
another
has been a
check.
day. This time we have a 37.
37. This is an amulet of comprehend language. It's basically a wand of comprehend language,
Ah.
but in amulet form.
Ah.
You realize suddenly there's a reason why she was able to converse with you all in common.
Okay.
Good to know.
Very good to know. Well, that's slightly disappointing. I was looking forward to having flaming aura, but I have flaming trail, so maybe this will work out.
Did you
Maybe I
prefer the
could
boots of
offer-
speed, or do you like the
Maybe I
flaming
could
trail
offer
better?
Asher to swap boots. Asher
You
might
have
like these
speed
boots
boots?
better.
My boots.
Or Greshy might.
I just
I
have
have the
boots of bounding. That's what I have.
We have a boots of bounding, we have a boots of speed, and we have this boots of flaming trail, flaming
I'd
steps. or
probably take the boots of speed over the flaming trail, though the flaming trail's fun. But ideally, I'm not going to be on the ground running on my own anyway.
something. Fair.
So
Well, if
Oh, actually, I think the boots, the flaming boots, should also have a +5 base speed in addition to a +5 increased speed when they're activated.
change my mind. Much better. Well, not much better. The haste action is still nice for the boots of speed, but
Yeah, the
I think
boost
the flaming
speed,
trail
boots of
is
speed
worth-
give you a quickened thing.
it is
separately.
worth noting that the boots of speed quicken action cannot be used to attack.
you can still use to move, which is
Right.
basically what you'd be doing most rounds anyway, is one
Mhm.
movement and then 3 attacks or 2 attacks and something else. So options. We can also hold on to the
Yeah,
boots
we
of
can
speed.
we
and
can sort out who wears what boots later. We have plenty of boots for everyone.
Yeah, so it turns out we've got too many boots. Not enough feet.
These are
Since in the
the
past, I suppose.
these are the
I
Hellfire
don't know if she needs
boots.
boots. Hellfire boots. That's a nice term. Hellfire boots. What's Asher been up to these last 8 hours?
I should. Well, now I'm gonna be a little spy.
Ooh.
That's what I should do.
All right.
See if I can't pull the entire dungeon to us somehow. by accident.
It'll be fine.
Do it.
So you don't have. You won't have your bow.
Oh no, I meant
until
to with the eyeball thing, the headband.
Oh, sure, but you'd need to be within range of 500 feet of whatever you're trying to look at, I guess.
It's true. I guess I could go to the opening and sit around.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying
500.
that if you go anywhere, you won't have your bow
Yeah.
for the next 8 hours because Greshy's still got it. Doing a transfer.
Take the
Yes,
Cloak
I
of
do know
Invisibility. Take this extra +2 white dragon scale longbow that we've had.
So you have something just
So you
in
have
case.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe sneak close and then use the visor to view in.
Try not to die, please.
That I will try not to.
Appreciate it.
I don't plan on engaging anybody.
It's just going to be a pain to retrieve your body and bring it back, is all I'm saying.
It would be. At least there's 2 of you, and Phelan and Brock can help drag my corpse.
Hi, if need be.
All right. So you've got some time while your allies are doing some training and whatnot. So it sounds like you want to make your way over towards the vaults of greed.
Yes, I do. I'll just scoot. Whee. Oh, I guess I'm gonna peek out to make sure no goobies or anything.
Sure, yeah. You make your way
Sludgy,
back to the
fleshy.
central chamber, and you peek out into the main hall. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yeah. I'm gonna see.
Oh.
29.
29. You glance around. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. You do notice the slightest amount of shininess on the ground around here.
Uh-oh.
Just in front of you. Looks like it kind of goes across the floor.
I was right.
There's also little bits of blood, like little droplets of blood left behind as well. It looks like something
Step
something kind
over
of slick
that.
has dragged through there. But yeah, you step on over the slippery
Stepping
spot
over
carefully.
It. Gross. Continue on my way.
Okay.
So how long does the cloak last? It's 10 minutes?
This is the Cloak of Elvenkind. I think it's just 1 minute at a time,
I
right?
think it's
Or-
5.
It's a 10.
It's
It's 10. It's 10 minutes. It's
Oh, 10.
the
Okay.
second level invisibility spell.
Ah, all right.
Good to remember.
So yeah, it'll be 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
Once you
If
decide.
you're
to
not
activate
using the boots as well, you can only do it one time.
Only one time. Okay.
Mhm.
it. Okay.
Cool. How many... I'm not good with wands. I've never used them in my life. How many times can you activate?
You can activate a wand once for free, and you can attempt a second time, but if you have to roll a flat check, and if you fail the flat check, the wand is destroyed. If you succeed on the flat check, it's just broken for the rest of the day. It has to be fixed before it can be used again. So
Okay.
guaranteed 1, possibly 2, but you're risking losing the wand entirely. That's how we lost the first wand of healing we had.
Good to
That is
know.
true.
Asher asks Greshy before he leaves, how do wands work? Never used this before. Okay, I'm gonna peek. Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, you peek. It's a very, very long chamber that goes off further than you can see. The hallway just extends on and on. But you can start making your way down.
I'm like, it's simply impossible to know. I will cautiously make my way down,
I'm making my way.
So
listening for anything
stealthily
as I go.
making your way down.
Yes.
So your exploration action then is to sneak. It sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. You continue onward. let's see if this is going to load properly. There we go. You continue down the hall. Eventually, the kind of basic stone architecture gives way to a green walkway and gilded walls. And along the gilded walls are placed every 10 feet or so are these purple gems. Actually, various colored gems. Rubies, sapphires, amethysts, that seem to be enchanted with some kind of permanent light spell, that are all very deeply embedded into the wall, that are giving off this very, very bright light. But as you make your way down the corridor, eventually you come across, the corridor stops abruptly at a large circular pair of doors at the end of the hall, and at the door's base is the Rune of Greed, which looks like a clawed hand reaching out for a piece of coin, perhaps. On the map, you have to tilt your head sideways to see it. But
also, it's not dark in here, but I can't see. I have my little. It's like I'm in a dark cave.
Give me a sec. Let me fix that. That's not what it's supposed to.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, wait. I think I messed it up. Does that work?
There it is.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Hooray!
Yes, you're supposed to be able to see.
All right. And the door is closed.
Yes, the
I don't
door
have any
is
magic
closed.
sensing. Step 1 foot onto this.
You step onto the greed
doesn't do
sigil. Nothing happens. It's just you and two massive steel doors in front of you.
Just for fun, I'm gonna listen to the doors. See if I can hear anything.
You put your ear up to the door and take a listen. So your perception check modifier is 27. So I will go and roll that as a secret check. Okay. You listen carefully, and you feel like maybe you hear the very, very faint or distant sound of burbling water, but it's echoing kind of strangely. It sounds like maybe a fountain is somewhere in the distance, but the steel of the door is kind of distorting where it is. But it sounds pretty distant. But you don't hear no creatures, no talking, nothing else, just your inner ear.
Is the door flush everywhere? There's no underneath the door or anything.
No, there's no underneath the door. It is fully flush in the wall. It looks like a big vault. It's a big circle in the wall that's fully flush, and it has kind of two handles that would open it outward. It is basically a big vault door.
Alright, well, I am nervous about opening the door just in case. I think this might be a decent enough spot to use the visual one. You don't have to know where you're putting it. You could just be just throw it in behind these doors somewhere.
Correct.
And
Yeah, you can just kind of throw it in a direction.
Cool. I will do that. Throw it ahead of me. Through
How
the
far ahead of you?
doors.
Just
How
5 feet?
far? Oh, two crap, I don't know how far. I guess I could just go on the other side of the doors.
20, maybe?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, you can guesstimate a distance, and if it happens to be in a wall, I'll move it just outside of a wall, or to the nearest side of a wall. So you can kind of feel around for a distance, and then when you open your eyes, that'll pop make it appear.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do like 40 feet.
40 feet? Okay.
Seems fine.
Let's see.
Take a peek.
So let me mark about 40 feet from you. And I will just do this as your a copy of yourself.
Oh,
So
hallway.
you close your eyes and like start fiddling with the dials, like I guess Ash or Gunn would have explained to you. And you're casting Clairvoyance. So
Yes, the one we
when you
can
open
see.
your eyes again, a little red visor has appeared like in front of your vision, and you can kind of move your head around. You can see all around you, and you seem to be in some hallway. You look back behind you, and you can see that there's clearly no door here. It looks like just a solid wall. You can also see off to the behind you to your right is a passageway. Ahead of you seems to be some kind of mist that's light blue in color, and seems to sparkle just ever so slightly. And beyond the mist, you can see an open chamber where there sits a burbling fountain. And the fountain is one of those like elaborate stone fountains where there's like where there would be like a cherub or something. On top is just a small statue of like a wizard holding a staff up in one hand, and the other hand has like an open palm where the water is coming out. You can't quite make out the water clearly from the mist, but it looks very pure, and itself seems to be kind of sparkling.
That's nice. I was sort of worried it would be a hallway, that I wouldn't be able to see much. But it's weird I can't see a door. Cool. So you can't move the eye, you just sit there and swirl around in a big 360.
Yeah, you could try to do other perception checks from there if you wanted, or you can wait and see what you see, if anything appears.
If anyone comes around here. How long? 10 minutes? Clairvoyance.
Yes, I think Clairvoyance is 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, I can't hear anything, I don't think. Can you hear anything through the visual one, or is it just the one?
No, it's the Clairaudience one that lets you hear
Okay.
things.
Yes, you could activate them together, but you can also activate them separately. So in this case, you've activated Clairvoyance
okay.
first,
I can
but
activate.
nothing stops you from also activating Clairaudience.
Right. Can I activate Clairaudience? I think I've decided it's 170 feet to get to about here. It's hard, it's not on my map. Hold on. Let's...
It's about 155 feet. You're just
Okay.
trying to get it into like in front
Trick.
of you where the
yeah, just in front of
where the
here.
fountain is. Yeah, you can definitely reach that. I
Yes,
think
like
you have 500
160.
feet's worth.
I'm just gonna... Cool.
Okay. You.
Oh, can
you
I assume I can zoom it around corners, but I don't know if there's corners here.
Yeah, you can just pick a direction, and yeah, like I said, I'll just move it to the nearest area that's actually like a real space.
Cool.
So you can try to go around
We'll pop
corners if you want.
it. I don't know if this is a corner, but
Okay,
right
somewhere
here.
slightly to the south of the fountain that you can kind of see up ahead. So around there.
Mhm.
Okay. So you start activating the other half of the headset that Athroxus wore to activate Clairaudience. You can hear the sounds from beyond the door come in more clearly now. It's a bit disorienting because you've got your vision in kind of two separate places. Like you have your real vision,
Mhm.
you have the vision of where you are just on the other side of the door with the Clairvoyance, and then you've got your hearing, which is in a totally different spot from you. So you're getting a lot of conflicting sensory information. It doesn't make you sick or anything, but it's just like a little off-putting. But the sound of the burbling fountain comes into your mind quite clearly. And you can in fact hear what sounds like another burbling fountain. Actually, I can roll perception checks for that. Yes, you can hear what sounds like another fountain to the south, maybe around a corner. You're actually quite a skilled tracker, so you're familiar with like sounds bouncing, and it's probably some kind of right angle hallway to the south.
Okay.
There's also distant sounds to the north, maybe a similar sort of right angle hallway and another fountain. But more importantly, you hear something in the fountain itself. I think you've rolled this already. Perfect. You hear what sound like fish, maybe large fish, carp, perhaps, swimming in the fountain. You hear them come up for breath every once in a while. And
Fish coming up for breath?
oh, not breath, but like to eat. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, you
Still
hear
checking.
you hear little fish mouth noises. Yeah, little popping sounds that sound like they're from fish. That have come up to the surface to do something. Presumably to eat something, maybe plankton or whatever's on the surface of the water. You also hear what sound like very tiny voices. Like almost like children laughing, but maybe a little bit more goblinish. In fact, it almost sounds like they're speaking Goblin. The words are
They're
not quite what you're used to, but that is Goblin that you're hearing. But very high pitched, like it's coming from very tiny throats.
Tiny goblin.
But I can't make out what it says.
No, you can kind of make out what they're saying. It sounds like maybe there's 2, maybe 3 distinct goblinish voices. They seem to be in play. One is saying like, no, don't splash me, and ha ha ha, gotcha, and that sort of thing. It sounds like they're like playing in water, and you hear splashes and things to go along with it. But they sound very, very tiny and very high pitched.
Do I know anything about goblins that are really tiny? Is there like a creature that's
I
a
guess this
very,
would
very
be-
tiny goblin?
Somehow, what immediately comes to mind are mephits. Strange elemental fey-like goblin creatures. And if they're playing around in water, maybe water mephits or ice mephits. They're mostly kind of harmless fey. Weird little trickstery types, but generally not a huge harm to people. They tend to come from the elemental plane of water or from the Fey realm, the first world.
How exciting! This room this wing seems pleasant so far. A nice, pleasant, glittery mist, pools with fish, possibly mephits playing who won't kill us. I like this wing. But
Mhm.
is that pretty much all I pick up from... I'm going to spend the whole 10 minutes, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, you spend the whole 10 minutes. Not a single other soul comes by. You hear what you presume to be Mephits playing for a while, and then oddly their voices go away. Like, it sounds like they're kind of fading away, but you don't hear them. They don't seem to go any, or like you don't hear them like stepping out of the fountain or anything like that. Your visual sensor can't quite see them. If you focus really hard, it seems like they're maybe in the back of the fountain, but through the mist it's hard to tell. And when they disappear, there's like a little flash of light in the water. But they go away after about 8 minutes or so. But you still hear the sounds of the fish.
How exciting and strange. Cool. Well, that was an eventful time for Asher.
Okay. Eventually the
So yeah,
sensor...
once these go away, I'm gonna move back.
Alright. Yeah, both sensors fade and you back away from the door and return to your friends.
Peek around, make sure no one's in the big opening area.
Yeah, no one seems to have disturbed anything out here. Well, it's all seems the same. You return
Step
to
over the gross stuff.
Yeah, you step over the slick and make your way back to the Wrathwing, where Gunn, I think, is still training, and Greshy is still working on your transfer. That only took you maybe an hour to walk there and back. So you still have plenty of time if you wanted to do something, but you can regale them with what you've seen if you wish.
I'll regale them with my tales of large fish and fountains and glittery mist and tiny children goblins that disappear in a
Goblins?
flash. Well, I think they're Mephits, from what I can hear and what I could see. Maybe. I think so, you know.
Pretty good
No people though.
investigation.
Well, it's definitely something. If you're not finding anything in there, Asher, they may have already left.
Maybe.
They may have already joined up with.
Because in Wrath, the first areas seem to be, I guess, not lust, but like little trap rooms where Wrath had the one where we got shot. Pride had the one with the mirrors.
That's true.
And I didn't walk in because I didn't want to trigger anything.
I don't think. Well, Envy, it's hard to say since it's kind of destroyed. So.
It did yell at me. Told me I'd die, and I didn't. Oh.
Yeah, that's another possibility that we hadn't considered yet, which is maybe the Greed wing is actually empty because all the Greed folk did find a way out of here.
It's entirely possible.
We haven't seen anybody over there yet.
I mean, I can keep going back each day and trying
These
to look around.
methods, would they be open to negotiation, or are they more the kind of creatures to be fickle and just attack?
Aren't they? What are they? Fae?
Yes, they're Fae.
I don't think dealing with Fae is a good idea in general. You got to be real careful when you
actually, they're not Fae. I lied about that. They were actually elementals.
Oh,
They're a form of elemental.
Never mind.
Might be more amenable then. Fae are a whole different matter if you're going to deal with them, but elementals generally are bound, aren't they?
What do you mean by
sure
bound?
know what they are, but I don't know.
Generally, the elementals we've found have been either ones I've summoned, which is a kind of binding, or
Stuck in a place.
locked in place to some degree.
You can give me a nature check if you want.
I would love to. I'm sure it's going to be terrible. Despite my past, Haven't really done much naturing recently. But 35 is alright.
35. Yeah, elementals tend to be either summoned or conjured, or the other option is that there's some, like, there could be a portal to an appropriate elemental plane nearby, from which elementals like these could come out.
Sort of leak through.
Yeah. That's not unheard of.
It's not, but this is also a strange sort of plane of its own. So I'm not sure
Usually-
how, unless they
usually if
built
that
it
was
next
the
to
case-
water plane, perhaps.
Yeah, usually if that's the case, like you've heard stories and seen instances of someone like trying to conjure up a bunch of flame, opening up a partial portal to the fire plane, and accidentally getting some fire methods or small fire elementals in the process.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody had opened a plane to a portal to the water plane, that could definitely happen. But otherwise, yeah, they were either brought there for some reason, or summoned there to act as guardians, maybe. Weird choice of guardian for
We think they're probably
a Runelord, or not Runelord, but one of these people. But who knows?
do they
They're very weak.
they're likely intelligent though enough to. Oh,
They can speak. Depends on what measure of intelligence you would like to use. Like, I don't know if they can do math, or read, but they can talk.
Greshy, you know that they're a bit more intelligent than your average elemental, I guess.
maybe we can use Asher's new diplomacy. Speak to them in Goblin.
Also, I don't know if I guess I could think about it, but maybe Greshy or someone knows there was a mist that was like glittery and blue around the water, and the water might have been glittery too. I don't know if that means anything, or if that's like not something we can breathe or walk through or what.
Does that
It's
sound
normal.
like anything to me if I make an Arcana check?
Sure, you could try.
Glittery blue mist around the water, 29.
Uh,
And a portal to-
29.
And a potential portal to the elemental plane.
Yeah, it sounds like it's if there's a portal to the elemental plane, maybe it's just a byproduct of that, or
Okay.
I mean, it's in the greed wing. It's probably some
Well-
kind of transmutation trap.
Fair. Yeah, I'm not saying it's safe, but it's probably
It's
it
probably
could be
not
just a-
safe, in fact.
It could be just a byproduct of the portal. It could be a trap.
You imagine that
Yes,
you
the
wouldn't
other
want to
stuff
breathe
I
it.
thought was a byproduct. Don't breathe that.
Gunn can hold his breath for quite a long time. Not saying
That's
he
true.
should go necessarily, I'm just noting he has that option. But I will be honest, I have no interest in going to look myself.
To find out if the master of the wing is still there, and if there's any documents or indication of.
We know where he is, or at least we know that Karzu's out there, and we need to
Mhm.
track him down. He's the problem.
Mhm.
I don't think taking out his lieutenants one by one is going to do much besides piss him off, which, as entertaining as that would be, isn't necessarily the point.
I don't even
I mean-
think these are lieutenants. I think these are just bookworms. His
So we're just killing-
nerds.
You know, librarians and such,
Yeah,
which is almost just rude. Well,
it's
not
kind of
really.
like strong librarians.
All right.
They're
well,
assholes, but
So with the end
we
of this
do-
8-hour block, you do this. It was the end of a 24-hour period, so
Mhm.
spell prep can happen again, the wands will be ready again, etc.
If
But
we do
continue.
one more day, Greshy, do you think you could perhaps move this spell storing rune onto Remedy, so I have both the holy and the spell storing?
Oh, sure. Take me about 8 hours or so. I can do it.
And if you also could prepare another one of those shocking grasps, you could also
Up to which level
refill
was
it
it?
at the third.
Third level? Sure. I will prepare a third level shocking grasp so we can stock up on it once I've got it transferred. Sounds fine to me.
Cool.
Um,
Did any of you want to make any change to your armors?
I will be transferring the +2 to my armor and putting the +1 on a rune stone, I suppose. So that'll be another 8-hour block.
Will you take any of the other fortification, greater cold resist, or greater ready? Probably not ready.
Wouldn't bother with ready, wouldn't bother with... I mean, greater cold resist is fine, but you two are going to be more in the heat of things, I imagine. Phelan,
Sure.
perhaps, but... Well, I could put it on
Fortification.
Phelan's and transfer his to mine.
Fortification would also be good for Phelan. It has a 20% chance to negate critical hits.
That's a great idea, in fact. Well, I've got a number of things to do today, so if you all want to go exploring the Greed Wing, I'll just spend my day crafting and focus on myself and Phelan, but I'll do yours first if you want to wait 8 hours and then take off and go exploring the Greed Wing or whatever.
Okay.
So my first 8 hours is going to be transferring the spell storing rune from one sword to the fancy sword that Gunn just got.
Mhm.
Okay, that's should be a DC 33 check, so go ahead and roll that.
Let's see how bad it is. I can't imagine. That's failing. That would have been bad. Crafting.
The spell story rune is
41.
common 13. Yes, that is a success. So you managed to transfer that over for him. Remedy
All right,
now
and then I'll
has
go ahead
the
and charge
spell
it with the shocking grasp while I'm at it.
story. All right.
I've expended one third level slot.
Gunn, while you're waiting for that, are you just doing another round of training?
Yeah, if I can put in another full 20 hours of training today, then I can finish this retraining.
I don't know if it affects your training, but I've got both of your swords while I'm transferring.
No, I'm mostly just getting beaten up.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, well, so 8 hours will get you, to day 6 of your training.
I can practice with one of the other great swords that we've found.
So you can borrow a staff if you want.
There's
We've got-
plenty of weapons.
We've got a great sword.
in
We've
the
got a falchion.
wing.
Yeah.
Or just take the round sword for that matter. Well, maybe not. You wouldn't like it. It's kind of... Well, not chaotic, perhaps. Anyway.
There's plenty of
I
training
wouldn't
weapons.
dislike it,
You
but I
find
wouldn't-
some stuff that is of an appropriate size and weight to what you want. Okay. Asher, what do you want to do with that first 8 hours for this day?
Do I want to go back and try looking around some more? Would that be something people found useful? Should I keep reading my books?
I mean, up to you about reading. I think more scouting is useful. The more information we have, the better.
I can try throwing things down different passages.
If you didn't see anyone, you could try just opening the door and seeing what happens, perhaps?
I could.
I mean, it's dangerous. I'm not going to say it's not, but perhaps.
My escape is fine, especially if I'm alone. I'm pretty fast. Though I will cast Longstrider on myself before I leave, which will last 8 hours, just in case I have
Good
to
idea.
run.
Yeah, that gives you pretty good speed boost.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could try. If I got into trouble, and I couldn't run, how do I send for help? Is the question. I guess the answer is just don't get in trouble.
if you're not back within an hour or two, I'll send you a message and you can reply.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That works for me. And off I go with full
Okay.
confidence. Nothing will go wrong.
Yeah, I'll just warp you back over to the Vault of
Back
Greed.
again.
It's somewhere over here. Okay, so you make your way back over to that pair of double doors there. What do you want to do?
Well, I will listen again. That's always a good idea.
Okay.
Make sure no one's suddenly behind it.
You listened again. No change or noticeable change from before. You can still just barely hear the water rippling. The steel is very cold on your ear.
I will attempt to open the door.
Okay.
It has handles.
Alright, it's got just like two big pull handles. You grasp the handles and start to pull. And as you do, the wall to your right starts to just slam towards you. Give me a reflex save, please.
Ah! No. 39.
39. I think that is enough for... Where's my save?
And if it's a success, I think it's crit for me.
That is a success.
Reflex. So
So
Ouch,
you
so
try
out
to
here.
you try to pull the doors, and you feel like it feels like there's some resistance, and it feels like you pull something, and there's a click sound as you get the doors partially open, or like partially towards you. But then they kind of snap back. You turn to your right, and you watch the wall like eject towards you, and you very quickly jump back in the nick of time to avoid being squished by
Little crushing.
I could draw it, but the big piece of wall just slams into the wall to your left. It's something like
Yikes.
whatever. You know what I mean. This is a big like hammer smash into the wall, and then slowly starts to retract. And after about a minute, it resets fully.
One, I'd like to note I can no longer get critical failures on my reflex saves, which is good.
So you can either fail or you can critically
level.
succeed.
Yes,
Those
I
are the
can
two options.
fail or critically succeed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can only fail and critically succeed. When I do fail, I take half the damage anyway, as if I succeeded. When I roll a success, I get a crit success. So I'm pretty good at jumping out of the
You're
way.
very dodgy.
So actually, you can
Um,
only succeed or crit succeed.
Yes, I can only succeed and crit succeed at these.
Effectively. There may be
that's
other things
nice.
that come with failure that he will also take the effect
Mhm.
of, but still,
Right.
that's pretty
Yeah,
damn
that's
good.
true.
So yeah, you just watch the false wall go back into position to your right.
Okay, it doesn't like the door being touched. On this door, is there any place to like put something, like a little coin slot, like a vending machine or something like that?
You look at the door, and there doesn't appear to be any kind of coin slot. It brings to mind, the image of the coin slot underneath Thistletop comes to mind, but there's
No.
nothing like that here. It just seems to be a featureless door. It didn't even really seem like the doors could open. Like when you pulled them, like when you tried to pull them towards you, it didn't feel like it was even a real door, and you didn't in that glimpse in between the cracks, you just saw a wall.
Some fake doors here. All right. I'm going
Paizo,
to
you've done it again.
start looking all around me. We're
All
at
right.
some doors. Let's get real close and personal with these walls.
Where are the doors?
Okay, you start feeling around on the wall instead. First, you start with the wall on the right, and then quickly realize, oh wait, that's the slamming mechanism. And you go to the opposite side, and just you kind of press up against the wall there, and it actually is as a panel that you can kind of push aside slightly. And so can I do that?
Well,
Is that
so it would
fine?
have just slammed me through, right?
Yeah, it
Like
deleted everything.
I get
But
crushed and it spins me.
I messed that up, but good enough.
I'm in the Matrix.
The hall to your left, there's another set of doors behind that false wall. I guess it's not actually a pivot. It's actually like a sliding thing from the right to the left. So you grab hold of the wall and manage to kind of slide it into itself, revealing a set of simple steel doors that you can just kind of push aside and open out into a hallway.
Nice. All right, this is nice. I will peek around here. I think I know. Aha. I see.
Yeah, you peek around the corner and see
Familiar there?
the spot where you put the visual sensor before. And you can see like little
And this
bits
should
of the
be-
mist leaking around.
There's that mist.
And yes, there before you, as you round the corner, is the mist leading up to that fountain. Over there.
Do I see anything in the fountain? I know it's probably hard to see through the mist. Or hear anything.
Yeah, through the mist, you don't see anything. And listening, you just hear the burbling of the water. You wouldn't be able to make out the
Okay.
fish if they were from this far away, probably. It's a very subtle sound that you need to be much closer for.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm gonna approach this gun. Seem to say not to breathe this. So I probably shouldn't.
Hold your breath and run.
Yeah, we're going. Hold on. 100 feet. It'll take me a whole around 6 seconds. I don't even think this takes me 6 seconds to run through
What's your
here.
speed?
Well,
for
if you look at
action?
it 3 actions per action, yeah.
Currently, hold on, let me make sure. It's pretty fast because I just took fleet.
Oh, jeez.
And my boots,
So-
so it's normally 25 plus
Fleet
boots
makes
of
that
bounding
30.
5 plus fleet 5 plus long strider makes it 10.
So 50?
10 more. So 25, 30,
You're at
35,
45. I think.
35,
45?
45. So I'm
45.
at 45, which for some reason my sheet is so angry. I
So yeah,
won't show
45
me
times 3
45.
then is 135. I'm pretty sure you can get through. Oh yes, yeah, you have plenty of. It's only 120 feet of mist. You can
Little wiggle room.
run through that in
Sure hope nobody.
one action
Nobody's
or one
peeking.
round. Okay, go ahead and give me a fortitude save, but you do get a +2 circumstance bonus to holding your breath intentionally.
Let's fortitude ourselves. Wait, where did we go? There we
Fortissimo.
are. 44.
44. It's a 46. You are totally fine. So you
So
run through
healthy.
the mist, hand over your mouth, holding your breath, and make it out the other side just fine. Once you're
Gosh, I just have
past
to go
the
back
mist,
at some point.
True. Once you're past the mist, you find yourself at the foot of a large fountain. It is burbling with very crystal clear blue waters. and that are giving off very slight sparkles. In the water, you can see massive, what look like large goldfish or koi, carp swimming around in the pond of various different colors. They all seem to just be happily swimming in a kind of a circle around the pond, occasionally coming up to nip at the surface. The statue of the wizard atop the fountain is relatively featureless. It doesn't seem to have any specific face or expression. It's just a kind of a faceless wizard holding up a statue and spouting out water from its hand in the seemingly endless cycle.
Cool. I think I kind of know what's down this way, but I'm gonna walk this, and listen. I think from what I remember, if I down in this way, there is probably another fountain. But I will listen and
you listen carefully, and it sounds like another fountain. No footsteps, no voices, and nothing like that.
I'll sneak along the wall and try and peek out just a little. I swear to God. Oh,
you peek out, and you see another of these fountains. This one's a bit larger, and there's a much larger looking statue atop the fountain. This one is clearly clad like a warrior, has like a sword and shield, and is facing the hallway. But you're just kind of peeking out.
I don't trust this. I don't know if there's any way to know without actually activating it. Can you tell if it's like a similar stone golem thing to what we saw in the Wrath Wing?
Just from peeking out around the corner, no. I mean, it's very hard to tell the difference between a golem and a statue.
Yeah.
The difference is that one moves in reaction to things.
One moves. Yeah.
You'd have to see it react to something. You could try to get to react to something if you wanted, but currently it doesn't seem to be able to see you.
Oh no, the last time I did that.
What's the worst that could happen?
Last time I threw a rock at something, it didn't end well. We'll consider that though. So later. It's a good consideration.
Put that idea elsewhere and just hold on to it.
Just for fun, do the same thing here. Take a little.
As you round that corner, you can also hear another fountain. This one, as you wrap around the corner, you can see this one appears to be perhaps it's another large fountain in the center of a room. This one looks like maybe a female cleric or something like that. She's got like a mace in one hand and a shield in the other. Clearly wearing some kind of like holy robes. But this one you notice is, well, the hand that has the mace in it is actually on the floor, or like in the fountain. It's broken off, and you hear little voices. The same little goblin voices, dancing around amidst the fountain. Where did I put
guess
them?
It's not reacting to them.
Yeah, you just hear them kind of giggling, and they're not really saying anything of import, but there are little creatures in there dancing around. Looks like maybe 3 of them.
There they are. They look to be having fun. Okay. Well, the statue's not attacking them, and its hand has fallen off, which is giving me confidence that maybe I shouldn't have.
Cool. What's the worst that could happen?
I'm gonna cautiously approach and say, "Excuse me."
They all kind of turn and look at you, One of them stands up. They all look like very small, like bluish goblins. Except they've got kind of this like weird bat wing, like what do you call it? Like this, they've got this layer of skin that creates
like a fin,
a membrane or a fin between their arms and their feet. It looks like they could maybe glide, like sugar gliders or something. But one of them kind of perks up out of the water. Huh? Who was that?
Excuse me. Hello. I'm sorry to barge in on you. We're not gonna exit the hallway quite yet. I'm like, I was wondering if you knew where the owner of this place was.
The owner? You mean that Orticon guy? The Mithril Man? The Mithril Man?
This is one of them.
Of course he means the Mithril Man.
Do you know the Mithril Man?
The Mithril Man's back in his workshop. He doesn't want to be bothered. He says we annoy him.
Oh no.
Everyone
That's
else is
not
dead.
Good.
They all died.
Oh. Everyone else, the people that were here, or or people you know, or
The
like
one
you
in
guys?
one in the back kind of splashes around.
Oh, they died a few weeks ago, month ago, maybe. I don't know. Time's weird. Dead.
Ah. It's true.
Orticon
it's true.
backstabbed them.
Ooh. Well, that's not surprising, I suppose, for him.
He's a greedy man.
One of them splashes
happen to
out of
know
the
where-
fountain and
Oops.
onto the
Oh,
ground
hello.
and kind of waddles up towards you.
Hi.
He's very, very tiny. He's only like
Wow,
a
wow.
foot tall.
Oh my goodness. Hello.
It just trails water up towards you.
Ooh, can I bend down and offer to pick him up?
Yeah.
It screeches
Okay.
in joy as you lift it off the ground.
Ooh.
And once you lift it up sufficiently high,
What a
it
fun time.
jumps from your hand and like glides back over to the fountain, and it lands on the
Oh my God, it's
statue's
big.
head, and the statue starts to kind of tilt its head and kind of shake it slightly, as if to try to get rid of it, but doesn't seem to be
Oh.
able to.
Oh no. Do you know where the workshop is? You know, just in case, since he wants to be avoided, so I don't stumble on it.
The workshop's in the back.
So I know.
Yep, all in the back. You'll have to
Where
talk
is
to
the
Zug
back? This place-
Zug if you want to get in. I think that's his name.
Where is Zug Zug?
He's in the back too. Yeah. That Orticon guy, he just hangs out with his stupid fountain all day. His fountain's dumb though. It's not real water.
Oh. Is that the fountain that's back there?
No, it's
They kind of look at each other.
no, it's back past some doors. If you go
He kind of points to the north.
if you go up there around the corner to the right, there's a set of doors. If you just follow the hall, once you go through that door, there's like their main workshop, and then past there's Ziggy Zug or whatever his name is. And then through there, if you get his permission, Orticon's usually back there with his stupid pool.
Okay. Well, I won't go up there today. Or maybe tomorrow, or however time works in here.
What are you doing here?
Do
Are you
you
here
know
to steal
what's
their
the-
stuff?
No, I don't have any interest in their stuff,
Okay.
which is true. Okay. Do you know what's to the south by chance? It looks like there's another fountain down there.
Oh, they all used to have rooms in here, kept all their weird stuff inside. But they're all dead.
Yes. You did say that. That is true. I haven't seen anyone. That's good. Or bad. I
I
can't
think the
tell.
blue guys killed them.
The blue guys?
Yeah, the blue guys with the
Who
weird
are
robes.
those? Do I
They
know
went
the
out to
blue
fight
guys?
all the blue guys. I don't know. They came here once. They were shouting. They all went out and died, but Ordicon lived. Because he's crafty. He's smart like that.
I guess. Blue people, blue robes. Well, thank you. Do you guys know what that mist is? The sparkly mist?
Oh, that's the fish mist.
Oh, what is the fish mist?
Oh, it's great. It's really funny. If you breathe it, you can turn into a fish.
And one of them
Oh.
digs around in the fountain and pulls out one of the koi with both hands and holds it up.
This is my brother. He's
Oh,
a fish now.
My goodness. He is indeed a fish now. Uh-oh. Okay.
I think he likes it.
And he throws the fish back in the fountain.
You know what? I think that sometimes it's an easier situation to be in is to be a fish.
That's what I was
Sure, he's
telling him.
happy. That's good. Cool. Well, I'm going to not go up north because I don't want to disturb Ordicon. And
Okay.
I'm gonna go back. But I hope you guys have a. Also, what are you doing here? That seems like you guys aren't very.
Oh, we're
Greedy?
stuck here.
Oh no.
Yeah, stuck.
How'd you get stuck here?
We took a weird light and we found ourselves here a few hundred years ago. Yeah, a few hundred years. And we've been stuck here. We don't know how to get back. But it's fun though.
Do you want? Okay. So you enjoy it here.
Oh yeah. It's cool. We've got all these fountains. And look, we can teleport.
And one of them dives into the water and there's a flash of light and he disappears.
Well, I don't know where he's gone.
Oh, I think he just went to the
Okay.
other fountain. Or one of them. I don't know. I'm gonna go find him for you.
And he dives in as well.
Okay.
There's just one last one left. Who's sitting on top of the statue still.
All right. Well, I'm gonna peek around the corner actually just to see if they're in the second fountain.
You
Anybody
look
there?
around the corner. Nope, nobody there.
Uh-oh. Well, I guess. And then I'm gonna ask this one. So, can anyone do that, or just you?
The fish do it all the time. So I think anybody can if they're in the water.
Do you decide where to go, or does it just send you somewhere?
Never thought about it. I just keep trying until it works, takes me where I want to go.
Okay. That's fun. Well,
It's a
you
cool
have
game. It's our favorite.
That's good. I'm going to go this way now.
Okay, bye.
Hope
If
you
you
fun. Bye. Okay.
If you see Zug
Oh,
Zug,
what?
tell him I said hi. I think he's really bored.
All right. Maybe I'll play chess with him.
Okay.
Checker. Okay. Bye.
All right.
Okay, so there's fish air.
Fish air. Yes.
You leave the methods behind, or the single method behind.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess this, if they're right, this turns you into a fish. Which is really unfortunate.
Hold your breath.
I'm like, I can both hold my breath and become an animal and run through. That gives me a double layer of
If you
protection.
turn into a fish and then try to get through,
I can't breathe. It's a really big problem.
well, but that's the thing, is a fish, you can't breathe, so you're not going to be turned into a fish, so you're fine.
I feel like it would float into my gills somehow.
Might be a
and
problem. Might be a little problem.
This might be an issue for later.
Double layer protection sounds good though, just in case. Now that you know what it does.
Okay, I need this.
You also feel your bow start to rattle as you approach the mist.
Mmm.
Uh-oh.
Do we look at what the thing does again?
Is this my crap? This is my crappy bow? Did I take my good bow this time?
No, you have the good bow.
Actually, you do have the
Okay.
good bow now, yes.
Oh no!
Last
what
time
if
you
I
did
just
not.
destroy my- Oh, my bow. Is it like my bow is? It's trying to, like something's happening to it, or is it because it's reacting to the?
No, it's just reacting
There's
to...
Okay,
Being in here.
Yeah.
to the mist itself.
There
It
is a
doesn't
reaction benefit that you could use in this particular circumstance.
It's
If need be.
specifically when you think about how to avoid the
Oh, I
mist,
see.
and when you're thinking about your abilities, it starts to kind of vibrate in response.
Or object. Strike hits.
Reject.
It's,
Yeah,
it's got
reject
reject
must be-
transmutation.
I have pierced, reject. You must be wielding or wearing this weapon. I'm targeted by a spell. Change spell requires a saving throw. You roll twice and use the higher result. Alright, it's pretty in favor.
Yeah, your bow is specifically formulated to fight back against transmutation, so it allows you to reject such effects if they were to come to you.
Does the mist look like it's coming from somewhere, or that it's just kind of present?
So you've seen these gems all along the walls that are producing light. You notice that every other gem in that hallway is not in fact producing light, but maybe they're emanating the mist. Maybe that's the actual source of the mist.
Okay. And there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there are a bunch of them.
Mhm.
There's approximately 8 on each side of the hallway.
Cool. It's a little much for this moment. Alright, I think I got a lot of good information. I think this place is mostly mapped out unless I want to engage in a fight myself, which I don't want to do right now. So I'm going to attempt to leave by holding my breath and running through this hall again.
Okay, go ahead and give me
See
a
how
fortitude
it
save.
goes. Wee.
And you get a +2 again.
Go. There it is. 34?
34.
Do you want to use your reaction?
Yeah.
Yes, you can use a reaction. This is a transmutation effect.
The higher result. Yeah, I will indeed, because it's there for
Could
me
be
to
better.
use. Could
Roll
be
twice
better.
and take the better result.
Mm-hmm.
There we
It's a
go.
lot better, in fact.
42.
42 total. Yep, that is a lot better. So you feel, even though you're trying to like hold your breath as you run through the mist, you can feel some start to slip into your nostrils. But then the bow on your back starts to vibrate in response to this transmutation effect trying to take hold of you. And you feel your sinuses clear, and like a thin layer of some kind of shimmering energy envelop you as you continue your run through, and you make it to the other side unscathed. You are unaffected
Alright.
by the mist.
Very nice.
this might be something that will be a concern to my friends if they decide to come here. But I feel pretty good about myself. All right, I'm gonna make my way back. If
Okay.
the doors and everything still work.
Yep, the doors work just fine. There's no problem getting through, and you make your way back to your friends in the Wrathwing. And I think with that, that is probably the end of our session for today.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for joining us. I hope y'all had fun.
Yeah.
Cool. So bonus this week, I think we're going to do one more episode on Wednesday, if everybody's cool with that. All right. So bonus episode. Yay. We'll continue slogging our way through this book. Hope you'll join us then. Presumably same bat time, same bat channel. 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, probably on Wednesday. If you're able to join us. Cool. Otherwise, you can check out all our past episodes on youtube.com/thirdaction, or find our Twitter account, or go to the Discord link down below to find out when we're next going live in a city near you. We're not going live in a city near you, we're going live online. But anyway, good night, bye, see ya Wednesday. Peace.